There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by.
Good morning everybody and welcome to the Sunday morning show all the way from the beautiful, what feels like home from home for me, Saunton Golf Club. Some changes going on here at Saunton, wanted to bring that to you. I'm out here today with Joe Le Pro. And we're having just a friendly game of golf actually. We said we'd organise a game of golf and I thought I'd bring my camera up to have a little chat with Joe as we go around the golf course. And I've got some exciting news which I talked about last week in the Sunday morning show, where we're going to talk about my new shoes that I'm going to be wearing for 2024. Excited to bring that to you. So let's get out and about at Saunton Golf Club. But actually before we go out, I just want to share with you a little tip of what I do just before I go out and play on a round of golf. So I want you to grab just one ball, and this is just before you tee off, and the idea of this is to get the pace of the greens, get an understanding of how the greens are working. Ideally the ball that you're going to be using for your first tee shot. And then simply all I do is I just work my way around the putting green. And you've got to remember this is a links golf course, so we've got completely different grasses to what I'm used to playing, let's say on Parkland Golf. And I'm not necessarily looking to hole out each putt, I'm just moving from hole to hole, just trying to get the pace of the greens, just to try and get me a bit of an idea of exactly how they're rolling on this particular day. So it's just an idea of getting the speed. I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily looking to hold these putts, I'm just getting the speed. So don't be afraid to move your distances around. And then once you feel like you've kind of got all your speed nailed in, and literally just before you're about to tee off, just find one hole and just kind of work around it, just to get the sense of holing out a few putts just before you get out there. Again, the idea of this is really that you're getting the noise of the ball going into the hole, giving yourself confidence that when you get over a sort of short putt, certainly early on in the round, that you've just holed out a few of them, giving you the positive feels going out onto the golf course.
Oh, Jesus. Get that thing out of my face. Good touch. Oh, go on then. Go on then. Go on.
That's one up, moving on. So just a bit of an insight into what's kind of going on here at Saunton. They are making some changes, not just to the East course that we're on today, which is, well, you could class it as maybe their championship course out of the two. I think everybody's got their kind of favourite. I probably prefer the West personally, just a little bit shorter, a little bit more friendly for someone like me. But the work that they're doing out here is to bring it back to when this course was in its kind of original design, which you're seeing a lot more kind of almost like waste bunkers around the golf course, and what they call naturalising some of the bunkers that are out on the course as well. So historically you will have seen a lot of revetting of the bunker faces, and they're trying to almost like come away from that, kind of that rounded look that you'd have on a lot of links courses. They're pulling away from that a little bit and investing back into making these bunkers look a little bit more natural, a little bit more rugged around the edge. Actually very similar to what we've seen throughout the years at Trevose. And just catching up with Andy Knight, who's the new head pro here, my good friend and somebody who massively trained me, helped me become a PGA professional and taught me the ropes really in the first sort of year of my training. He was saying it's like really refreshing to see how much investment's going back into Saunton. And I have to say, just being out here, because I haven't been out here for a while, just being back here, it's looking different, it's looking fresh, and it is playing beautifully.
.170, so I've battered one down this par 5, straight downwind, got 170, so you want to take advantage, don't you? So I'm looking at pins tucked right, deep bunkers, one dead on line with the pin, one right at the pin. So just establishing where I don't want to go. Those aren't great spots, no offence, because I think you're in there. 15, 20 foot left of the pin's good. I'm picking a club, it's probably going to add 10 yards of wind, so I'm picking a club that I want to fly at exactly pin high, because I don't mind being beyond it. So I need something I'm going to fly 160, stock 8 iron, just left of it. If it goes to the back edge, it goes to the back edge. That's my thought process. Perfect, start just left of it. Drifting back, 20 foot. Back edge, 25 feet for eagle, happy.
Come on, just get a big bird. Very good.
Like that.
Very good.
Thanks, mate. Daniel, it's a 4, isn't it? I'm 4.
Oof. Either I'm getting shorter or you're getting taller.
I'm on tiptoes as
You
well.
are. Just wanted to catch up with you because obviously you've gone into a new role. We've talked about that briefly. People know that now you work for Golf Monthly.
I do.
And it's madness at the moment because it's all release time. There's new products coming out left, right and centre. How are you getting on with it for a start? And then what's your thoughts on the actual products that have come out?
Loving the job, number one, brilliant. Like, it's super busy. It's like, particularly this time of year, everything's coming out in January, so I look after drivers and irons, so I've just been hitting balls and testing all sorts of gear and trying to collect data and everything like that. So that's been mega busy, but yeah, really enjoying it. In terms of standout products, I mean, if anyone's seen my video on the Ping G430 Max 10K, you'll know I'm a big fan of that driver. But they're like across the board, drivers have been great this year. I think some really like genuinely good product, and I'm testing all categories of irons, which is really interesting. Normally I'd play like a low handicappy sort of muscle backy blade thing, but I'm testing game improvement, distance irons, compact distance irons, all sorts of, yeah, it's been really good, and I think the whole spread of equipment's been, yeah, spot on.
And I know you talk about things like distance clubs and things like that, but with this 10K thing, do you think that we're seeing some gains and help for these golfers out there, or do you see that actually we've kind of hit a bit of a ceiling with it and we're not really progressing any further?
Bit of both, I think. Ball speed and COR, like the springiness of face, that's been limited since 2013, I think.
Yeah.
So you can't exceed that. If anyone's telling you their driver goes massively further off the middle of the face, then they're lying, or it's illegal. So they can't do that. So the manufacturers are looking for other ways to sell product, and the forgiveness story is a big one this year, isn't it? And I think, yes, it's plateaued in terms of distance, which is probably a good thing, and obviously ball roll back and stuff coming there. The forgiveness thing is I think it's making it really enjoyable for lots of different players. You can get out the car. First tee today, I was stiff as a board, make any old swing, didn't hit it good, but it found the fairway, and it was a nice straight dispersion. So some people might disagree with that as being a good thing for golf. From a recreational point of view, I think it's a great thing to improve the enjoyment of the game. I think it's really good. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Talking about the 10th hole then, Joe.
Hello.
This 10th hole.
Yes.
I think Gilly was playing in the event actually, so it was when Sergio Garcia won the British Boys Championship around here.
Yeah.
And if you go in the clubhouse and you chat with all the members, they'll tell you that this is the hole that Sergio Garcia knocked it on.
Well, I think they've got a different, every member I talk to has got a different story about him on every hole, to be honest. But yeah, there's 13 there, there's a bunker on the right, there's about 200 yards out, I think, that's got a lip that steep, and Sergio hits it on here with a 3-iron.
Yeah. I think it was driver down here. Obviously we've come off the forward tees here, yes. But he was off the back tee and he actually threaded it between those bunkers and got it on there. And I got a funny, I don't even know, I think Gilly might have even been playing with him. Maybe that's the story. But yeah, he won it around this golf course.
Pedigree.
I'm in trouble.
You are. What are you thinking?
Well, let's just assess the situation. What we've got is a bit of a buried lie.
You're on a downslope, but hitting uphill.
Yeah.
So elevation's taken out of the shot by the lie you've got, and the topography of the land, the lay of the land. You're coming down the hill.
So therefore I'm not going to get the elevation off the shot, am I?
So you're struggling for elevation, plus you're going uphill, which is going to make it come in at a shallower angle of attack. Plus you've got 20 miles an hour of downwind.
Okay, so what do you think the average golfer is doing here?
Panicking.
They're panicking and going directly at the flag, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just
they
pulling out a sand wedge, hacking it out of that lie, and nudging it towards the pin and hoping for the best. And all that happens there, if you get it right and strike it well and pitch it up there,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a bad shot. It's not going to stop because it's not going to have any spin coming out of that lie. The green's firm. It's running away from you a bit after that tier, and it's downwind. So even if you play that shot well, you're not going to get it close. So there needs to be a bit more thoughts and pragmatism to that, don't you think?
I think so, yeah. And the problem I've got though, I'm looking at this like bank here that I could chase it up there.
Yeah.
But that's extremely steep.
It is
extremely steep. But the other thing that I've got is I've got a backboard behind the pin, so backboard back there, and I've also got a massive slope that's going to make it kind of run round from right to left.
If that bunker wasn't there, you've got quite an easy out, haven't you? You're going to bundle something up that bank towards that backstop and you probably get it on or fringe.
Yeah.
That bunker makes it difficult because you can do that, but you've either got to go left of that, which leaves you 60 feet up the hill, or you've got to go right of it in a narrow gap, and that's where the slope gets the steepest.
Yeah.
So for me, left through that gap's okay. You're probably going to get it on the green, I would hope, out of that lie.
Yeah.
But you're going to leave yourself an 80 foot of up the hill. It's no bargain. So if you're going to play a low running shot, you might as well take the risk, in my opinion, of taking on that steeper bank. So if it goes really well, you're going to be a bit closer. That's how I would look at that in a tournament. And then, I mean, it's high tariff. It doesn't mean you're going to play it well.
Yeah.
But
okay. I've got a 9-iron.
Well, 9-iron ensures it's going to run, doesn't it?
It does, but the issue I've got though is that I am very downhill now, therefore de-lofting it even more.
Okay.
So I am going to just open it up a fraction.
I disagree with that, but go on.
Just because I want to feel like I'm chopping across it a fraction a bit more, instead of coming down here with lots of grass.
I'd take more loft and allow it just to be de-loft in a squared thing, but we all... No, you do it how you want to do it. We all see these things differently. There's no right or wrong.
I can accelerate more with a wedge, I think.
Yeah. Great shot. Oh. Oh. I wish I knew how to zoom, because that really warrants a zoom.
Now, I promise you, more luck than judgment in that shot.
It's big done.
So some of you will know, and I briefly mentioned it a moment ago, this was my first post. So I came up here back in, I think, 2006, I actually turned professional here at Saunton, and I lived in a house just at the main entrance there to the golf course. And if you kind of look through these trees, and unfortunately it's grown up a little bit, but if you look through these trees over here, this is the old clubhouse down there. Saunton's clubhouse is kind of over the back of the 16th, and you go down 17 and it's just further up there. But there's one of these houses along here which is actually the original clubhouse, and the golf course used to kind of go out, 9-hole course used to go out this way. It was moved to then 12 and then to 18 eventually. And they've acquired, yeah, it's all right, Joe, some land basically between the 16th hole here now on the east course and the old clubhouse over there. And they've got now what they call a new, well, it's a new practice ground basically. The old practice grounds where Joe does a lot of his testing up here now, they're just too short. They're not like, for someone like Joe, you just bang it over the top of the practice ground. So when you get a big event here and they want to host big tournaments and things like that, they need to have some space to be able to allow these players to get their drivers out and give it a whack. So just literally over this hut here now is where the kind of teeing box would be, and then it all works back down there, and it's a huge spot of land, absolutely huge. But again, just investing back into the golf course, they're obviously teeing it up for some big events for the future. And talking about the future, should it be looking at hosting an Open here? You never know, one day. Well, what a fantastic day that was at Saunton. Bit blowy towards the end, and Joe did win 2-1, unfortunately. Now, something I do need to mention, and you will have noticed it as we wandered around that golf course, but golf shoes. Let's head back to Churston and we'll catch up a little bit about the golf shoes that I've got on my feet for 2024.
And here they are, the new Under Armour Drive Pro shoe. Now, there is a bit of a story behind why I've ended up in this shoe. Now, I was lucky enough last year to go down to Cyprus at Aphrodite to do a filming shoot with Foremost for Under Armour's release of shoe that was coming out for that particular time, that was kind of like a foremost shoe. Well, I'd never met the guys from Under Armour before, and we kind of just hit it off. We got on extremely well. I could see the passion that was in their sort of discussions around their shoe and their product. And we just kind of created a relationship and kept in contact. Nothing was really ever coming from that at that particular time because I was very much still with FootJoy. However, I then also went down to France. This is when myself and Jordan went down to Terre Blanche, and you will have seen the footage that I had with JJ, French international coach. And he worked very much alongside Under Armour to help create their new shoe, which has got the swing support system in it. And they've got a combination of a number of things, but the standout parts for me are very much the traction on the bottom of the shoe, so stability, very, very important. And then when you work onto the top of the shoe, you've got this kind of wraparound band, which kind of locks your foot in nice and closely to that shoe, which enables you to be able to be guided. This is what this shoe does, is it kind of guides you, helping you use the ground forces to get that ball out there just a little bit further, which JJ did help me do.
I will give you after some other tips. The midfoot.
Ah, how good's that? It's literally like I've just learned how to do my laces up again.
Yeah. Little bit clean, you agree?
Yeah.
173.
Yeah. Fade. 173 fade.
Now, whenever you see some gains from technology in golf, it's a little bit of a joy, isn't it? And to actually see it from a pair of shoes, I would say is actually slightly different. Now, I recently went down to Portugal to do a filming shoot with Foremost. And I phoned up the guys at Under Armour and said, look, do you mind if I take a pair of these down to do the shoots down there and see how I get on? Well, I just fell in love with them. The comfort on them and the stability and the support that I was getting from them. I just came back from that trip, phoned them up and said, could I wear these for 2024? They agreed, and this is where we're at right now. So I'm really excited to be working alongside Under Armour. I'm really excited with the opportunities that we might be able to do with JJ as well, because I think there's some opportunities as he's moving from Terre Blanche to now Stoke Park, and we can get up there and do some filming with him again. So I'm really excited to see where this year goes with Under Armour. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's Sunday morning show. Always good to catch up with Joe the Pro and get a few tips from him when we're out on the golf course. A big thank you to Saunton for allowing us out there to play. It is looking absolutely fantastic, and my plan is to try and vlog both courses this year and even get a break pass series done on both of them as well. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again on next week's Sunday morning show.